Morning. Welcome to Friends Drifty. And as you can see, we've gotten some rain, some fog in the background. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the peonies. We'll talk about the peppers and several other things today on Friends Drifting.
For old-fashioned recipes and your gardening needs, while sipping on Kentucky bourbon. You sit right back in your big red hat. We're taking rural back from the urban. Listen to the stories where Kentucky is proud. Share the giggles with all of your friends. You all are tuned in to Friends Drifting.
Hey, I'm Joyce.
I'm Charlie.
It's Friends Drift In, episode 18?
18, I believe, yes.
18.
We're getting there.
Y'all, it's Memorial Day weekend, and we're really excited because
We get 3 days to work.
3 days to work without being in the office. Also, it's another trip around the sun
Happy
for me.
birthday.
So, I'm tickled to be here. It's been a good life, and I'm happy to have a good husband. And the Friends Drift In journey continues. This episode, we're going to do some cutaway where we talk about what's going on down in the peony patch.
Yes.
We're going to, what about it?
Yes, peonies look good this year. We're kind of sitting on the back of the truck doing a little bit of work today, but it rained, thank goodness. First time it's rained in about 2 weeks.
We sure needed it.
We can, if Joyce will lean over this way, you see the buckets over there. We've been carrying water back and forth to the farm every day to try to water every night to make sure our peppers don't die that we put out on the plastic. And hopefully this will get the ground saturated good and everything will do better.
It is good. We've got, we're going to talk about the peonies and how they've done. We're going to show y'all how we planted. The tractor is still down, y'all. It's been a killer. The tractor is still down, so we're going to show you how we planted. We're just using good old-fashioned ingenuity to get our peppers out on some plastic down on the farm. And then we're going to talk about, a lot of other things that's gone on. I dropped a video on Friday, when you're seeing this, about what we've been doing with shopping, just trying to top things off for our prepper pantry. We're not really hardcore preppers, but we like sales.
We do.
And we like coupons.
You know, the thing about it is that saves you money and it saves you time. It's better for you to be eating at home when you buy all this stuff too.
Yep. And it's almost time where we're going to be getting the garden. We passed from the time here for a while in Appalachia. It was kind of the in between the little winters. Then we had this really prolific bloom of wild roses. The wild roses just make a perfume that is just heavenly. But we've moved away from the wild roses, and now we're into honeysuckle. And honeysuckle is one of my favorites. Charlie hates it because it's invasive.
Yes.
But I like to make a honeysuckle. I make a tea, a honeysuckle fresh tea, kind of a bourbon cocktail out of it, and ice cream, honeysuckle ice cream sometimes. Yep. We're getting ready to do some work on our gourmet jams and jellies. Getting ready to go over to Kane Kitchen probably next week.
Yes.
And do some production not only for ourselves but for one of our benefactors, which is Bourbon Barrel Foods down in Louisville. We do all of their jams and jellies. You can check them out at bourbonbarrelfoods.com. What else is going on, Charlie?
Well, we've got other stuff to go out. We're getting ready to plant our Bradford watermelons in the field in the next few days. As soon as we get some plastic down, it dries up enough.
Watermelons. Shirley is a harbinger of summer. And easier times, and after the last 18 months, summertime is sure welcome, and easier times are sure welcome.
We're going to get a lot of our flowers out this week, we hope. We've got some zinnias, we've got some sunflowers getting ready to seed out. We'll try to seed those out differently. We'll do a few fresh cut flowers to go along with our peonies. Peonies will get into fresh cut flowers here in the next couple of years once they get really good and established. We've also got to tie tomatoes again. They're growing. They're almost 5 feet tall, maybe 6 feet tall by now.
The tomatoes in the hot tunnel are getting ridiculous. I went to the doctor out of just stubbornness because I just couldn't quite get over it. So my sinuses and my allergies are let's say they're under control. They're not where they need to be, but I'm feeling much better, and I'm not walking around like I was drunk. I had so much water in my ears, y'all. It was just aggravating. It was really aggravating. So we're really excited that it's Memorial Day. Mama, we won't be able to have footage, but next week we'll have a little footage of Mama and her blueberries.
Yeah.
She's got her blueberry bushes going, and they've survived the freeze, so we're really glad for that. Now, of course, when we're doing our regular blueberries, the blueberries for our blueberry cardamom jam, we usually source those from the Kentucky Growers Association. Y'all, we can't grow enough blueberries to keep up with what we're doing. But we do try to keep it Kentucky proud and Appalachian proud as much as possible.
We've got our bell peppers out for our red pepper jelly.
And our green pepper jelly, and our habaneros are out.
Habaneros are out.
We're getting ready to do some Tabascos too, and the Tabasco peppers is something we're kind of piddling with to see if we might be able to do some sort of hot sauce.
We made our own prep.
Yeah, we've done it before.
So
we're getting ready to launch. If the state will ever release the recipe, we're getting ready to launch a new product with jalapeno peppers that we're really excited about.
So we got a bunch of jalapenos out this year. So we're growing mostly for ourselves and for the jam and jelly business this year. We're going to also do some for a couple of little produce people here in town.
We're not doing big this year. We're just going to kind of just do what we need to do for us, our family. Jacob and Anita and Mark, that's his sister, and you all know Jacob. For them and for Mama, you know, and for us. We're going to get into doing some dehydrating a little bit. We're going to do some videos on that coming up. Charlie's getting ready to do some videos on some summer cocktails. So that's going to be awesome. I do love a summer cocktail. There's nothing like a cold glass that sweats and the beads just run down, and we're going to be doing some of that with our jams. If you never heard about jam cocktails, you can check out Friends Drift In. We've got a few recipes on that site, but we'll be adding some more as summer rolls along. Next week, we're going to be working on grilling. So next week's breakfast chat will be a whole 30 minutes of grilling and recipes. And then the week after that, who knows? You know, we've got a lot of things going on that we want to try. We are really eager to do some live chats. And there's two reasons that we want to do the live chats. One, because it takes us 3 or 4 hours to get a video uploaded after we get it edited and everything put into it. And second, we really want to talk to you. Y'all, these lockdowns have been a bear. You know, it's time to reconnect to people. Today I was looking on Facebook, and I was really moved how many people had wished me a happy birthday, and I look at the names, and it's funny. You know, maybe you shouldn't pigeonhole people, but you do. And I look and I say, there's my chefs, there's my 4-H friends, there's my college friends, there's my sorority friends, there's my 4-H friends, there's my dance friends, there's my foodie friends. There's my agriculture
the seedy
friends,
people we call them.
The seedy people. And, you know, my people that are just in general agriculture. And I like that. I don't pick my friends by their politics. I pick my friends by what our common goals are and our common interest. And the world might be a little bit better if we all tried to do that and put this politics aside. It's real foggy today. It's been raining. We'll give you a couple of still shots of how beautiful it is when the fog is over the mountains here in Appalachia. It's greened up. The blackberries have not bloomed that I've seen, or if they bloomed, they went by me fast. So we still may have blackberry winter, but it's been pretty hot this week.
We're going to get down into the 40s tomorrow night. So that may be blackberry winter. We hope, and it's over. Maybe that'll
be the last of it. But it's been up in the 80s, 70s, and the 80s. Like I said, Charlie says it's been dry, but we've been blessed to have some rain. What else is going on, Charlie?
Well, like I say, right now we're just getting ready. We'll be putting our beans and stuff out here soon, as soon as we get the tractor back up and get the rows plowed. And
did we mention that we're bean people?
We'll have some of our heirloom beans. Mostly that's what we're going to grow this year is the heirloom beans. We're going to grow the white
we got one we call the White Hastings, which is a variety that Chef Sean Brock, who made big big time history back a few years ago as a young hotshot chef. Chef Sean Brock originated in Wise County, Virginia, which is just one county over from where we are in Kentucky. And you know, he loves his Wise Hastings beans. He remembers his grandma growing them, and they are a prolific bean. They grow really heavy. We also do one that's called a Bailey bean. It grows very similar to that,
But
and it may not be Bailey bean where you are, but it's what?
It's a fall bean.
It's a fall bean,
it's a bigger,
little bit
bigger
bigger.
bean.
They're good for, you know, they're good for canning and freezing, but they're also really good just as a dried shucky bean. Shucky bean are what we call leather britches down here when they're dried. We're gonna be talking a lot about leather britches in the fall.
And we'll do the early white harvest. That's what we get from the Howards, and that's one of our favorite fresh eating beans and a canning bean.
So beans will probably be the next few weeks. We'll be talking about them and watching them grow, getting them planted. We waited around this year on the beans. Last year, particularly the Bailey bean, did not like being in soil that was not warm. You know, usually we go on and plant a little bit earlier, so we waited until the soil has really warmed up in it. I mean, when you walk in it with your bare feet, you know, you can feel the warmth of the sun. So nothing scientific there, just a little bit of barefoot walking, but that's good by me.
Yeah, we'll be seeing some bean pictures coming soon as they start popping through the ground here in the next 3 or 4 weeks, and a lot of other stuff going on. We're hoping to maybe try to put up our second greenhouse this summer. Hopefully, we'll see how it
We've
goes.
got all the makings for it, y'all. It's just finding the time and finding the labor.
The place, yeah.
You know, Jake's out of school for the summer, so he can help some, and we may round up some of the neighbors to give us a little help on that. If y'all are thinking about canning this summer, don't forget, get out and find those canning lids and jars and rings. Not only look at your stores, but watch online like Facebook free giveaways. Look for estate sales. Do what you have to do to find them cans and the lids and what we call taps, the rings and taps, because they are really, really hard to find. Even for us doing our commercial line, you know, it's been we can get them, but we have to kind of wait and pick and choose when we're going to produce, because we don't have all the equipment that we know, all the accessories that we need to do what we need to do. But you all need to think about getting your canners, checking if you're doing pressure canning. Go on and check your pressure canner, take it to the extension office and have them check the pressure gauge, make sure it's doing okay.
Check the seal.
The seal particularly. If you're a prepper, or if you're somebody that has half a sense and watch what's going on, you might want to get an extra seal for that pressure canner, just in case they get hard to find later in the season. If you see one, go on and get it, then you've got it put back and you don't have to be in the middle of canning and realize that your seal is broken, because there's nothing worse than being in the middle of a big project, especially canning, and have to stop and run to the store. So the more you can get ahead, your canning spices, vinegars if you do pickles, extra sugar, spices, rings, jars, canners, 2 or 3 canners. And you know, I hate canning sometimes in the summer because it makes the barn so hot. A lot of my friends have taken to doing some burners outside, and you're still getting that temperature up. I don't know whether I would trust it for pressure canning, but I wouldn't hesitate to do it for water bath canning. Now, of course, the USDA has specific regulations, and you know, if you're afraid of canning, you need to do your research. But when you're doing water bath canning, you really shouldn't be afraid. And if you're doing pressure canners, I've got an old video, like 7 years old, that I did with our local home economics. She's now Family and Consumer Services, I think what they call it now, but the home economics agent at Extension. We did a whole 30-minute video on pressure canning green beans, and I'll drop a link in that here. It's an old video, but it's still it's an oldie but a goodie, as they say. Charlie and I have been blessed. Last weekend, I thought about how this coronavirus just kind of sapped my joy. I've just been kind of sad and down, and you know, you're isolated here on the farm, and we got to go to a wedding this weekend, last weekend, and it was definitely full of joy. We wish Daniel and Hannah all the best. Maybe I'm wishing Daniel would get married. That's the one of the brothers. Andrew and Hannah, all the best. Definitely an evening of joy, and I hope that sets the tone for the summer.
Yes.
Sets the sun for the summer. We're looking forward to doing some festivals.
Yep, we're going to Winchester next week.
Winchester next week, Winchester, Kentucky, at Full Circle Market.
Full Circle Health Market, yeah, health foods.
Full Circle Market in Winchester. We're really excited to be up there. We're going to be doing some tastings. For all you folks up in Central Kentucky, we hope we see you there. A lot of other things going on.
Hey, we're going to do a cutaway to some of the things down on the farm, a tour of the peonies and the peppers that we put out on the plastic. So,
stay tuned. Hey y'all, it's Joyce. I'm coming to you live from the peony patch. It's about the middle of May, May 23rd, 24th when I'm filming this. And as you can see, the peonies we've been featuring, they are coming to fruition. Now, I've talked a lot about what we wanted to do with these. I mean, the peonies, they say, are edible. I've never ate a peony, have you? But I just like them because of the beauty of them. They're featured a lot in Asian art. They have a wonderful, wonderful perfume. One of the great things about peonies is that you can harvest them at what they call the soft marshmallow stage. Now y'all, I'm still kind of trying to figure out that soft marshmallow stage, but I think that some of them are about where they were. And what you do, if you were growing professionally, is you harvest them when they're still a round type bud, but they're kind of in that whatever soft marshmallow feels like. And you cut them and you strip them and you put them in a cooler in water. And you can hold them for a while, and they won't bloom until they get warm again. So if you're growing great big bunches of them, you can do that for the florist. Right this year, we're just trying to see how they're doing. This is the first year they've been in the ground, so you know they're kind of new. They haven't spread much, but they're going to be glorious. They're going to be glorious. And I'll drop in some footage here where I'm just kind of walking. We've got about 50 plants out. Now, over time, somehow we got them messed up because I like to keep them in straight color. So all the pink should have been together, all the magenta should have been together, all the white should have been together. Y'all, that just didn't work out for us. But that's okay because I can see what they are. I'm blessed to have eyes, and I'm blessed to have a sense of smell, and I can figure it out. But next year we'll probably do some peonies for the florist trade, or perhaps for one of our grocery stores. We've talked about doing floral arrangements for one of the little grocery stores around here. So we'll see how that all goes. But I just wanted to update you and let you see how truly beautiful these are, and how excited I am about things to come. You know, it's been a tough year this year, and these peonies just kind of lighten the mood. So, this is Joyce from the peonies, and we're going to move over to Charlie and Jake and the peppers. So, here we are over in the pepper patch at Friends Drift In. This is just a part of it. As you may remember from our last episode, our tractor is down, so we usually lay plastic by hand, or by machine, but this year, you know, we got to do what we got to do to get the plastic down. So we're doing a lot of it by hand. It could be done, a little bit harder to do, a little bit more labor intensive, but we're getting it done. So these are our peppers. We've got a mixture in here. We've got some bell peppers and some jalapeno peppers. Charlie, what other peppers do we have?
Tabasco peppers, bell peppers, some jalapenos, a few Hungarian sweet, and hot banana.
So the hot bananas and the Hungarian sweet, we usually do more for us than for anything that we're doing professionally. We like to put those in kraut. We like to do our own pickled peppers. The Tabasco we're experimenting with for...
We're going to try to do a hot sauce this fall. We're going to do a mixture of Tabasco, maybe some cayenne, and think we'll maybe throw a ghost pepper in. We got a couple ghost peppers coming up, so we're gonna
Just a little bit, just to give it a kick.
Yes.
Just to give it a kick. And then of course all the bell peppers we use for our
pepper jellies.
Our pepper jellies, and we have several pepper jellies. We have the peach habanero. We've got the habaneros going to go down in the. Are they in the hot tunnel?
They're going to go out both places.
Okay, and then the peach habanero jam, and we have the red and green.
Yep.
And then we also have. We have a fourth.
Strawberry jalapeno.
The strawberry. How could I forget the strawberry jalapeno, y'all? That's great for margaritas. So y'all have heard me talk about Jake, and we had Jake in last week's video. Jake, how's it been being a student this year, doing everything virtually for your first year of college?
It's been interesting. It's been difficult.
Why is it difficult?
You have to be very self-motivated to be an online college.
You're exactly right. So I was telling a story. Charlie and I were at a wedding last night, and we were trying to catch up with Carla and Billy Joe. And I was telling them that you gave me a call, and you said, "Hey, Aunt Joyce, guess what I got from FedEx? What did you get from UPS this year?"
The section pack, I got a fetal pig.
A fetal pig and a sheep's...
Let's see, a sheep's heart, a brain, an eye, a kidney.
Now, why are you interested in eyes?
I'm hoping to be going into optometry sometime pretty soon.
So this year you had a little bit of biology, but you had to do all your dissecting at home.
Yep.
So that's kind of the way it is with post-COVID. So we had a few issues with some of the peppers that we grew ourselves. They're a little bit leggy, and they'll be fine, but they're a little bit tough to put through the standing plant, which we showed you last week. Because they're a little bit floppy. So what Charlie's doing is he's just putting them down by hand in the holes, digging a little bit of a hole out there. And as you can see, crawling around on the plastic is not near as easy as doing the standing plant. But we'll get it done, and that's all that really matters. Thank y'all for stopping in and visiting with Friends Drift In. Next week we'll be doing grilling. Y'all don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Order gourmet jams online for your grilling needs at friendsdriftin.com. I'm Joyce.
I'm Charlie.
We're Friends Drift In, growing a good life in Appalachia.